welcome back to the channel. Today one of my pre-orders came through. It is the 1/3 Vampirella from Prime 1 Studios. She arrived earlier this afternoon and I must say I'm very impressed so far. The box is massive, absolutely massive. Basically I'm going to get the foam out of the box and open it up in real time so you can see what it's all about and have it on display by the end of the night. Okay, so here's the box. Obviously it came in a shepherd box, but that's downstairs. Lovely artwork. And around the other side. I've had to do a bit of rearranging in the Dan cave. Let's see if I can turn this around. Yeah, it's just the same. Yeah, I've had to do a bit of rearranging in the Dan cave because that's where she's going to go. Witchblade was where Red Sonja is, that's why there's a Witchblade art piece behind Red Sonja. And I've had to put Witchblade over here and Tweeter Red's Catwoman there. I was originally going to put it down on the shelf down there, but I quite like where she is. She's next to the Batmobile, looks good. Anyway, you haven't come here to see them, you've come here to see this. Let's do this. Okay, so here we go. First layer. It's all been cut off. This is the first layer. And what do we got? Looks like, ooh, look at this. Look at that. Here we go, here we go. I don't know if the camera's picking all this up. I am a one-man operation. No cameraman. Oh, look at that. That's phenomenal. Oh, beautiful. Fantabby Josie. I think so this looks like the head. Oh my god, look at the hair. Check for breakages. That's heavy in its own right. Look at the head. The head compared to my hand. Look at that. That's beautiful. Her face. The eyes are absolutely mesmerising. And thankfully it don't look like there's been any breakages. So this is, and you see the little holes there, but that's where the bats go, I'm assuming. The blood dripping down her chin. Excellent. Let's lay that down. And this bit is obviously the body. Oh. Weighs a ton. I've been most looking forward to this one. This is the body. Like I said, I am a one-man operation, so please forgive the camera work. And next, layer 2. So, what's that? Yep. Okay, so layer 2 is adjust the camera. 2 seconds. So, this bit is obviously the base for the base. Oh, it's so big. Damn. Don't know if I've got enough room. What's the easiest, best way to do that? Okay, do it that way. And I've got 136 out of 500. If the camera can see that. Oh, that's the base. And the bottom, 136 out of 500. So I am actually putting it in its place off of camera, so please forgive that he's staring into nothing at the moment. Looks like I could fit Witchblade back where she originally lived. It does say on the box that this is a bonus. There's a bonus piece in it. Ah, there it is. So this, I didn't actually pay for this. I bought just the regular, but they've sent me the bonus part. I don't know whether it was whether they called it the DX part, but literally the reason I didn't buy the DX part was because all it was that. But they sent it to me anyway. So thank you, Prime One. That is fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust the camera and then I'm readjust it, but I'm going to set this up because that's where she's going to live, over there. So I'm going to try to move the camera over as best I can so you can actually see me putting the pieces on. Apologies for my fat bottom, but I can only do what I can do in the short space that I've got, lack of space that I've got. Oh, that fell. That went on lovely. That went on lovely. Let me just double check, make sure the camera can see that. Let's just have a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so looking at the instructions, base is on. Yep. So it's our little lady with the head that goes on next. We're very careful because there's a lot of spiky bits on this. I'm a bit frightened about doing this because of that strand of hair there. I don't know if you can see. So I'm a bit nervous about this. I don't know if there's a particular way to do it. Maybe just, there we go. No, right, she's hanging out a little bit. Not too sure how that's supposed to work. Not too sure what's going on here, but I have to come back. Okay, with this piece, it is a bit fiddly. You just got to have the stones to do it, but you've got to bring this part of the hair strand forward in order for the head to actually slot on. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so just goes on like that. Hopefully the camera, because I did have some feedback about my shoddy camera work, and I do appreciate the feedback, so I'm trying my best. But like I said, this is really for my benefit, not I don't want to be a professional YouTuber or anything. It's literally just so I know how to pack the statue back up once if I ever move. But we'll go back to the the parts, get them out. But hopefully it does help someone. My videos do help someone with the assembly of these things. I'm going to be very careful with this because these are the bats. Quite delicate, so I'm going to keep it there for the time being. Just open each piece. So you can see. Yeah. Lovely. Very pretty. Nothing broke. It's fantastic. Yoink. With that little guy there. Right. So we'll go for the big parts first. Another skull. Lovely painted. Put that little guy there. I think most of it is self-explanatory. The bit that was tricky was that hair part. But you just got to be gentle, just to move it out of the way so you can slot the hand on. Oh, sorry, the head on. So hand. I'm a bit disappointed with that. I thought we would put a little bit of. Oh, there is nail varnish on it. Oh. Pink. I always thought Vampirella were all red. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Anyone's watching and you know, correct me. I always thought she wore red makeup. Okay, this is obviously a snake. This guy's obviously a snake. Just unwrap him. Uncoil the coiler. So I like to keep the tape that these statues are wrapped in. I like to put them back exactly where they were, where I got it out from. Just so if I do ever package them up back up, I know that that part belongs there with that tape. Just for practice. I have got a review for the Batmobile. It's actually quite lovely. I don't have the cameras picking those greens up, but that's awesome. Different tones, and depending on what light you're looking at, is what colour you're seeing. That's brilliant. I like that. I like that. It's like a two-tone effect. So I'm going to put this little guy there, just to keep him safe. And it looks like we're on the last bits, and I think they're bats. These are little bats. Oop. Yeah, little bat. Little guy. Quick, 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 quick. I know I'm sad, but truth is, I don't give a shit. So there's loads of bats. I think 1, 2, 3, 6 in total. It looks like. I'm guessing they're bats at the top there. Where is it? Okay, so kind of like translucent bats. I don't think. I'm not too sure whether they're numbered or not. These bats here, they are. More of these little guys. Oh, you can put that. Another one. Yep, another bat. Man alive, she's got a lot of bats. Yeah, another one. Right, so I think that's all the parts out. So now, I'm not going to move this box out of the way just yet because I've still got the load of parts sitting on top of it, but we are going to adjust the camera over to there and zoom in a little bit. Let's lift that up a little bit. See, ideally I would like to have her sitting there right next to Red Sonja. The big Red Sonja, not the little one. But I am limited for space, so that's just not going to happen. Oh, I'll leave that there for a minute. Okay, so back onto the instructions. Looks like the hand goes on first. Well, next. Say first, next. And by the looks of things, you have to fiddle the hair again. Hopefully, you can see. Did I zoom that in? Have a look. I don't know whether I zoomed it in. No, I didn't. Right. There we go. I'm going to bring it back a bit. There probably are going to be. Do you know what? Let's try it. Alright, never mind all that. Let's just actually film myself. Okay, I did already film this part, but it was at a bad angle, so I thought I'd refilm it. So basically, this is a separate part, and there's a key down here underneath the cloak that slots into a hole that keeps it locked in place. So I just wanted to emphasize that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put these parts on there so you see where they all go. So basically this skull goes here, then this skull goes in place down here, and he kind of hides under here. It's not easy doing this whilst filming, but I'll try my best for you because I've got one hand on the Pete. There you go, there you go. So just to emphasise, that is magnetised. It goes like that and comes in like that, and he sort of tucks in down there. Sneaky Snakey, which I think is absolutely fantastic because of the colours. He lives here. Now there's a little key, I don't know if you can see that, but just there's a little key. And he lives, and he coils around like that. And he just lives there. Now, I've actually had this assembled, but I've disassembled it and took all the bats off. So just to show you how to do it, I've got the head and the body there. Now I'm going to need both hands for this, so please bear with me for a few seconds. I am going to set this up on display here, and I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this on camera, but this is going to be quite difficult because, like I said, with the hairpiece, oh sorry, the headpiece, you actually have to bring these bits forward in order to so it don't snag. And it is very tight. I mean, you can see this weren't damaged before when it arrived, but it's very tight to do. So please forgive me if I don't get all this on camera. It is quite difficult to do. I definitely need both hands for this, so I'm going to try to get this done for you as best as possible. So there's little pads here as well to protect the rest of the statue, but like I said, it is very, very tight. And it takes a little bit of fiddling about. I suppose where it's it's made me look like a liar, but I suppose where I've had it stretched out, it's just slotted back on. Now before there was a gap there, but she's actually sitting pretty snug now. The head is actually sitting pretty snug onto the body, so I'm quite happy with that. The way she attaches, she's got a key. Yeah, you can see it. She's got a key, and that attaches to the base. So I'm gonna sit her down gently. Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Sit her down gently. And remove the camera. Back over to there. Now the hole for the key is here. Right here. So this kind of velvet. Oh, that's good, that's velvet. That's to protect the bum. So let's get that over there a little bit. So I'm now gonna reattach her to the base. That's how she that's how she sits, nice and snug. Let's get the camera back. Now the hand, or sorry, the arm, just slots on. It's magnetised, just slots on, like so. There we go. Now the bats. I kind of forget what order they go in, but I'll do my best for you people. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bats and this cluster of bats. Now there's a magnetised key right there, and it kind of goes, let me just readjust my legs, and it goes, there is a slot, there's a, right under here, right there, and that's where, and this is item 12, but it goes under here like this. You kind of have to fiddle it. Like I said, this ain't easy doing one-handed. So forgive me if this is taking longer than it should. There we go. That magnetises on. Okay. I did kind of put these so I vaguely know where they went. But this guy, there's a little hole at the back here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. But there's a little hole back there. And he lives there somewhere. So because I've got Witchblade back in place, I can't get my head around there to see it. So I'll move her over a little bit. At the moment I'm just trying to feel for where it is. Right, so I'll move on to this guy. This guy's got, I don't know if you can see that, but he's got a little key there. And he lives in this hole here. If memory serves me correctly, this was a bit of a pain putting on last night. Oh, there we go. He's on. This one's bothering me. Where is that bleating keyhole? I'm going to have to move the statue out. So all I needed to do was adjust the angle of the statue so I could find it, but there it is there. That little piece there. So he will go on like so, and he'll magnetise on. Lovely. Right. Move it back. It's so heavy. It's so heavy. Oh, come on, baby. There you go. Right. Okay, so there is another piece. Now, bearing in mind, I don't remember what numbers these all were, but this guy has got a long keyhole there, and the hole is on this strand of hair there. And it'll go on, just like some, like that. There's another guy, another little batty, whose key is there. I believe it's magnetised. For the life of me, I can't remember where he lives. Oh, can't remember where he lives. He lives around here somewhere. I think he might be. Yeah, there he is. Is that him? I think that's this one. This one has a hole there. So I'll just adjust my hands. See if it'll go. Yeah, it's like that. And this little guy. Yep, there he is. He's like that, flying downwards. Well, I don't like that. Well, let's see if these... Nah, here's the right one. I thought I might be able to swap them over because he looks a bit silly doing that, but you can't. I'm assuming he just goes on like that. And this one, last one, I can't find where he lives. He does live around here somewhere. It's the thing with these bats that you just can't find where they bleating live. Yeah, so I had him like that originally. bear in mind, I did have all this assembled, and then I've taken it apart to show you. And without the instructions, I've actually packed all the instructions away, but without them, I'm kind of lost as to where they all go, because it is dark in this room and I ain't got enough light to actually see where the holes are. There is another bat to put on, but not too sure where. I'll have to figure it out at another point. It's disappointing now. I'm disappointed in myself because I did have it and I did set them all up kind of with the idea of where they all go, or a rough idea where they all go, but where I've had to move the statue, I've had to move the bats, and I've lost me footing with it. But yeah, apologies for that. Yeah, apologies for that. There is another spot for this little guy, but in this light I can't see where he lives. So it tells me he might be on one of the other bats, but I'm going to do my review. So we'll start off with some of the floors. Now, it's both the first thing that I want to mention is we'll go from the bottom up. The first thing I want to mention is it's very wide. Obviously, it's a 1/3 scale. It's very wide. There's a lot of detail going on underneath. These skulls are painted in different colours. Now, when I first looked at it, I was kind of curious, like, what was going on here? But obviously, it makes sense because these skulls are darker. Obviously, they're under the chair, the sofa. This skull is lighter because it's out in the open. So, it makes sense. One thing that I don't like, but I also love, I'm kind of schizophrenic, is this snake that attaches in. With all that detail going on his head, why have they why is he going in like that where you can't see the head? The head's down here, like tucked away under that rock. Why? You know, the head should be, surely it should be out here. Now, you can't really appreciate the colours on these snakes, but what would have been really nice is if you had one coming up, curling round up here or somewhere, you know, or around the back of the chair. That would have been really nice, because the paintwork on these snakes is absolutely beautiful, and a camera just really is not picking it up. But there's different tones of greens and blues going on with this, and depending on how the light hits it as to what you're actually seeing. So that's a negative. Another negative was obviously this part of the hair. Now, on second looking, and you've actually just witnessed me do it, it slotted on perfect. But when I had it set up last night, which was when the original parts of this video was recorded, there was a slight gap there in where the hoop is. But now it's perfect. So no design flaw there. You just got to be really careful with these two specific strands of hair. Just gently pull them forward and then wrestle I say wrestle, but gently ease the head onto the torso. For anyone who's in, I have been asked this question. The cloak that she's sitting on is sculpted. It's not fabric, it is actually sculpted, and it feels like resin. I just want to have a quick show you a quick detail on this little snake down here. I mean, look at, I don't know if the camera can pick him up. Yeah, but you can actually see his fangs. Brilliant bit of art, absolutely brilliant. Obviously you've got the logo here. Like I said earlier, this is the bonus version which came with this. Now I checked that Prime One's website earlier today and the standard version isn't available. It's only the bonus version that's available, but I promise you, when I pre-ordered this back in March, there was 2 versions you could get. It was the standard and the bonus, and the only difference was this. And I opted to go for the standard because I weren't prepared to pay whatever the extra price was for that. But they might have changed it now because all that's available is the bonus version with the Vampirella logo. But we'll have a look at the bottom. Stanley Art Gem, Lau, Prime One Studio Dynamite. It's a nice little touch, but personally, I think they've gone away with the standard and bonus versions, and this is just how it is now. Which is good, because why not? Do you know what I mean? But there was absolutely no difference in the statue whatsoever. Now, going to the positives, I don't know whether it's a chaise lounge or I'm just calling it a sofa, but there is some absolutely stunning sculpt work in there and paint job. And apologies for my camera and my lighting. Like I said, I am in a bit of a dark room and this is late at night because I have just finished work, but I wanted to get this out to you. There is different shading going on the top of the red of the leather and going down to the bottom, coming down. You know, it actually looks like, I don't know whether it's old Victorian leather, but it looks amazing. Coming down to the sculpt. Right, another thing that this is really pedantic, and I am being very pedantic here, but since when have you seen leather boots look like that? You know, and normally they're smooth and shiny, but this is textured. And don't get me wrong, it feels great, but yeah, when have you ever seen boots like that? But she is a vampire from space, so maybe that's the fashion out there, I don't know. But if we go up, you can see the dimples. This camera is actually picking it up. You can see the dimples in her skin. And there are multiple different colours going on within it. And like I said, I have apologised for the lighting, but I will say it again, I am sorry for the lighting. Bearing in mind, this is a bedroom, this is not a professional studio for YouTube, so please forgive. But there's nice little different tones of colour in the suit itself coming up, and it is actually a different texture than what the skin is. I'm not being perverted here, but it is, when I was touching it, but it is different textures. It's more of a, this is more of a satin, that's more of a, the skin is more of a satin, say matte satin. This is more of a satin gloss mix. She's got teeth, and people said about She Devil with a Vengeance didn't have teeth. My one actually has, but yeah, she has, she's got teeth. Another downside, the only other negative I could think of is the blood dripping from her mouth. It's hard to see unless you move the hair out of the way, which I've just done. But like I said, you've got to be gentle. I mentioned earlier about the fingernails. Her fingernails are pink, and I always thought Vampirella had red fingernails, but oh well, never mind. The eyes though, look at that. The eyes are beautiful. There's greens and yellows going on in the eyes. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how Vampirella is supposed to be. She can mesmerise people with her eyes. So, you've got the gloss going on there. Absolutely stunning. Coming down to her hand. Let's bring it up over there. Beautiful sculpt. And I think this statue really encapsulates the character of Vampirella, because she is beautiful, she is feminine, but she's also deadly. You know, and Art Germ captured it perfectly in the original art piece that he'd done, and Prime One have topped it with the 3D statue of it. You know, absolutely beautiful. Come around. Now, what sold me on this piece when I first saw it, it was a no-brainer for me. When I first saw this, it was this. It was the bloodstains. Now, it's very hard because I've worked with resin blood myself with my own statues, my own customs, and it's very hard to get resin looking like blood, but they have done it perfectly. And like I said, the camera ain't picking too much of this up, but there's black. If you look at blood, real blood, it's not completely red. And when you consider this resin blood is on a red background, you would think it wouldn't stand out, but it does. And it's absolutely fantastic. Like I said, the lighting ain't too great. Let's see if I can just lift that like that. There we go. A little bit better. But what it actually does, they're very clever at, because what it actually does is, because resin is see-through, and what it actually does is whatever the background colour is will show through at the top of the resin. So quite clever. It's actually more of a process. If the chair or the cloak was green, it'll be more of a process to actually create that effect. And go into the goblet. Look at that. You can actually see the blood dripping out of the goblet. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Like I said, this is a 1/3. I'll get that back on. Apologies. 1/3 scale. Spare me 2 seconds. I'll get the tape measure and give you some exact measurements of what it is. Obviously, I am limited for space, so I can't show you the back. But let's face it, who's going to be looking at the back? Okay, so I found where the other back went. Basically, I had these two, him and him, in the wrong place. There's a take him off. There's a key there, and there's a key there for that wing. Sorry, a keyhole, and he just slots on like so. Like that. Actually, makeup. I didn't notice before, and the camera. I think the camera is picking it up, but there's makeup there. It's like blush, so you've got the green around the eye, but there's some blush there as well. My favourite part of the statue, well, I mean, I love it all, but I love the snakes. See how he coils round there, and it doesn't matter whether I've done this in daylight or night time, which is where it is now because I've just finished work, but the camera just will not pick up the colours that are on these guys, these snakes. They're absolutely phenomenal. It's different depending on how the light hits it. It's different greens and blues. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. She is a beautiful piece. There's another thing is there's not much shading on the bracelet. It is what it is. You're not actually looking at the bracelet, let's face it. None of us are looking at the bracelet. But yeah, that's something that I personally would have done differently. I would have had a little bit of brass in there on top of the gold. But it is what it is. It's a beautiful statue. It is expensive. I think, well, just look on Prime One's website. You'll know how much it is. It is expensive. But I love it. Although I have said some negative things about it, I do love it. I'm not disappointed with it whatsoever. It's a beautiful statue. It's flawless. There are things that could have been done better, but on the flip side, it's not bad. It's worth its money. It's big. It's impressive. It complements She-Devil with a Vengeance as a 1/3. In an ideal world, I'd have them both together next to each other, but I'm not a millionaire. But I'm not a millionaire, so I am limited for space. So what it is what it is. Different brands on the hair as well, just to make the hair stand out. Absolutely phenomenal. The eyes especially. Oh, look at them. Beautiful, beautiful. Like I probably have mentioned in previous videos, I'm not a professional YouTuber, and believe it or not, my channel D36 is not about high-end statue collecting. There's, like I said, I am limited for space, so there is only so many that I will collect. What the channel is actually about is artwork, and I haven't uploaded anything yet, but I will be doing so in the future. Basically showing time lapses of some of my artworks and commission jobs, as well as custom statues. Well, there's a difference between a statue and a model. At the moment I'm working on custom models. I have actually got a Lady Death, a 1/3 Lady Death on the go at the moment. I'm just working on the base, but that was a serious project. But I will showcase it at some point once it's finished. Like I said, the only pain in the backside with this particular statue was the figuring out where they went. But for anyone who does buy this statue, before you take the bats out, pay attention to which ones, what number bat is living in what part of the box. That way I'll make it a little bit easier when it comes to the assembly. Don't do what I did and just get them out and then wing it. Although I promise you, when I assembled them last night, it took me 5 minutes. Done it tonight, it's took me, what, 10 minutes. But it's not hard, it's just a little bit of common sense. It's not hard. But, yeah, thank you for watching. I did enjoy making this video and hoping to get it out. Hopefully you might have learnt something, other than I'm a dipstick. But yeah, no, honestly, I hope it helps people out with making a decision as to whether they want to buy this particular statue, or how to figure out how to put certain parts on. Just be careful with these hair strands. That's all I'll say. Be careful with those hair strands. That, and make sure you get the right numbers of the bats. And just have a look and see where it is and whether you like it. I've actually bought statues based on other YouTubers' reviews. So hopefully this helps someone else make that decision. The measurements. Right, I haven't got my stand up, but what I'll do is this, hopefully you can still see, but I'll do quick measurements. So the widest part is the base. That's roughly 20 inches. Apologies for my shoddy camera work. So the depth is roughly 12 inches, and the height, which is the bottom of the base to the top of Vampirella's head. Oops, I'm gonna have to put the camera down for this, sorry. Okay, so the height, at its highest point, is just under 22 inches. Yeah, just under 22 inches. So yeah, that's my honest review of the 1/3 Prime 1's Vampirella. Beautiful piece. I love it. Even though I have said some negative things about it, I do thoroughly love it. It's not something that I intend to sell anytime soon. In fact, I probably won't sell it. Maybe if I need to keep a roof over my head, that's when I'll sell it, or maybe my family will sell it when I croak it. But other than that, all the statues I buy, I do intend to keep. My only concern is I'm buying these high-end statues. Where am I going to put my customs? I haven't quite figured that one out yet. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And yeah, thank you for if you like the video, please leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to D36. There is going to be more content coming. Then it won't just be about high-end statues. It will be my artworks and sculptures and modelling myself, and hopefully there'll be some tutorials involved and how to do certain things. I will do a tutorial at some point about how to do resin blood, because I have actually done that myself with a custom Vampirella that's up there. She's up there. I will showcase her at some point. But yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good day wherever you are. Bye bye.